What's up, guys? This is Will from Bluestribute. I'm here with First Degree. Should give me you guys names.
I'm Travis, lead singer.
Right
Zach, play the drums.
I'm Isaac, I'm the bass player.
And I'm Dane, I play lead guitar.
Right on. How's it being on the road with 36 Crazy Fists and The Defiled and in this moment?
It's pretty crazy. It's one of the biggest tours we've been on so far. So
Yeah, it's definitely
It is
surreal.
the biggest tour we've been on so far.
Yeah.
yeah, it is. Yeah, it is the biggest tour we've been on.
We're only like 2 days in though, so we actually stopped at home because we're from Cheyenne, obviously. So we stopped at home for the last couple days. We had the last couple days off, so we've really only done 2 shows, 3 now, including a day. But
Right on.
Yeah.
How many dates are you guys doing with these guys?
16.
Yeah.
Right on.
16 with them.
It's a nice long
Almost
run.
almost
Yeah.
a full month with them.
yeah,
Yeah,
it'll
we're
be,
excited.
It'll be really good.
It goes to some really cool places that we're
Yeah.
really excited to get to and play
Right
on.
on.
Probably the biggest, it is the biggest venues and stuff, capacity-wise and all that we've ever played. So
Yeah.
Right on.
It's
Awesome.
gonna be really cool. It's gonna be fun.
Seems like you guys deserve it. I've been working so hard at it for so
yeah,
long.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Fantastic.
Now I'm drowning 6 feet under.
Never heard of First Degree before. In 2 sentences, can you give us the rundown of what First Degree is all about as a band?
3 brothers and a brother.
That's the short synopsis.
All right.
And then
And we're just trying to. Right now we're new, so we're just trying to play as many places as we can and get our name out there as much as we can. So maybe instead of In This Moment headlining, it'll be First Degree headlining
Right on.
the Fillmore in Denver. So
Right on. Cool. You're not that far away. Just nose to the grindstone.
Yeah.
You know guys know how this business is. It's
Exactly.
it's pretty crazy.
You get what you
It's
put
crazy.
in.
Yeah,
Kind of thing.
totally. Absolutely. Just like
I'm drowning 6 feet under in a river of doubt.
you guys have been a band. Like, what is the origin story of First Degree?
Well, it all started out with me and Dane. We bonded over this band back when we were 13 called Creed. Then
Love
we
you, Scott.
really, yeah.
yeah, he's a crazy man.
He's
but-
crazy now, but we love him still.
Yeah.
But
But yeah, the first time I heard Higher on the radio, I was like, and then a bunch of other songs too that came out around that same time, like the Three Doors Down Kryptonite song, and
Yeah.
all the those radio rock songs that were on in 2000. That's when I first started
Yeah.
listening to rock music, and then I started playing guitar. And me and him started playing guitar together, and
we
actually,
we learned the same songs and
yeah,
stuff.
one of the songs on our album we wrote
Right on.
when we were 15 or 16.
Mhm.
And it's on our album today, and we actually got a chance to record it and put it on there. But
Nice.
we've been friends for a long time, and we had broke up with some girlfriends and stuff, and
Yeah, we went through some
didn't have jobs or
trying
whatever.
times.
And
Yeah.
I
Great song material, right?
yeah, I was I came to Travis. I was like, dude, I don't have anything going on right now. You don't have anything going on right now. Do you want to start a band?
My first reaction was like, "What?" Okay, I know we're both really messed up right now, but come on, really. And then, I heard him out a little bit. He showed me a DVD. What was the DVD?
It was like Avenged
Sevenfold.
Sevenfold. They had a DVD where it was all
What,
about their
like
horror.
LTC, or-
Yeah, well, it was
the
that,
All
and then it was
Access.
the All Access one
Yeah.
too, where they did their
Oh,
origin story and all
Oh,
that.
yeah, all excess.
And so I showed him that, and I was like, dude, these dudes, they're just they were just normal dudes that started out, and they look where they're at now. I was like, that could be us. And so he's like, okay, and he bought into my crazy scheme.
Yeah.
And so me and him started writing some songs and everything, and we had a show, and we needed a drummer, and Zach was in another band, his high school band with some of his high school buddies, and I was like, do you want to drum for us? And he's like,
Right
okay, yeah, I will. So just the 3 of us played that first show, and his band ended up just fizzling out and falling apart, and so he's like, well, I guess I'm going to be in First Degree permanently now, and
Right on. And the
so
rest
then we
is-
needed a bass player, and
All right.
great.
Right on.
we grabbed him, and he never played a bass in his life, but we bought him one for Christmas, and handed it to him, said, learn this.
Just taught myself how to play.
now
The rest
here we
is
are.
history?
Yeah,
Yeah,
now
pretty
here we
much
are.
that's
I was
what.
2
was that
years
about
later.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
It's
2.5 years ago.
2.5 years
2.5
ago.
years ago,
Now
yeah.
we're here.
Hitting the road within this moment. 2.5. That's not a lot of time. And that's props to you guys.
Yeah.
That's,
The good thing,
It's a blur.
the only reason why that happened is
Yeah.
because we all had it in our minds that we need to have it happen, and we need to have it as soon as possible, the best way possible. And I think a lot of bands that start out like that's what it takes them, like 7+ years or whatever, just to get up to this or higher.
Yeah.
And
it's always like
it's
sorting
like,
out like
yeah.
band members that are serious, members that aren't.
Yeah.
And like we all pretty much have the same mentality.
That was the
craziest
thing we
is
were lucky
that
with.
We are all very
Yeah.
serious about it. It's not just like you have one member who's like,
And that was
okay,
the
now
thing
we're
kinda-
touring, okay, I'm
yeah.
out,
That was the thing from the get-go. We were all serious, and we all kind of, we all talked about it like we have this dream kind of thing, but it's like, let's
What do we do?
go for it, let's
Yeah.
get it. Like,
It's one
we
thing
kind of
that-
laid it out and talked about our
Yeah.
goals. Yeah.
Like from our first tour that we did with Smile Empty Soul, and like we get off the van, because we had a van back then instead of the RV. We get off the
Yeah,
van and
sometime.
we meet all the dudes from Smile Empty Soul, and like I've been listening to these guys since I was 13 too, and I'm like,
Yeah.
all right,
It's crazy.
all right, I guess we're
We're in it.
Here
we're
it
getting
is.
there.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
Here we
Here
are.
we go.
Yeah, totally. It's always worth it.
Coming up for air, but I see no way out. Is this all
So you guys, as you stated earlier, you hail from Cheyenne, Wyoming. Is this the first tour that you guys have been on of like this magnitude, and I guess in general?
Yes.
Yeah, of this
Magnitude.
size.
We toured with Trapped. That was probably the biggest
That was
tour
the
we'd
biggest
been
one
on
we had done.
before
Okay.
this.
Alright.
As far as the magnitude of crowd,
Yeah.
participant and everything.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So our first ever tour was actually with Smile Diesel. That was our first tour. Like we booked
And
like
it
a little
was
week-long tour thing
huge.
that we did on our own.
It was so
Like
long.
it was just
It was like
long.
a 2.5-month tour.
And
that
it took us coast to coast into like some of the tiniest, crappiest little
Yeah,
bars.
but
'Cause, I mean, Smile Empty Soul, they're a great band, but they just don't have as much of a following now, and which kind of sucks because like we saw their set every night and we're like,
It's really
oh
good
man,
music.
you guys are really good. I don't know how people don't like you
Oh,
anymore,
definitely.
But I think that long tour was the thing that really solidified in our minds that
Yeah.
we could do this, because
There's
everyone on that
50
tour was like,
shows.
this is your guys' first tour. How are you doing this right now? Like
50 shows,
we hate
11
each other
weeks.
right now. How are you guys
Yeah,
still
it was-
going? You know?
it was nuts.
And we were doing it in a van too. So
this
that's
tiny
another
little
thing.
van that was terrible.
And like we were so
That's the
naive that we didn't even
worst.
realize that was
that was
so
I thought,
long.
we
and
thought
that
it was just
sucked.
how
You know, we
like
just
what
thought it was
everybody
normal.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that kind of solidified
We
us
just
just
said-
being serious about it, and then
Yeah.
you know,
this-
we just
Since then, it's been like a
Tour
pretty
like
good
that.
progression, I guess.
We did-
Magnitude-wise. I mean, we did
Trapped,
a few
we did
little
Alien Ant
small
Farm.
ones, yeah.
Okay.
And
Right on.
but this one is
but
definitely
this is-
3-4 times bigger. The shows are 3-4 times bigger than anything we've ever done
Yeah.
before. So it's just really
It's
cool
really
to
cool.
Right on. Awesome.
be on this
Yeah.
tour right now.
Yeah, no, yeah, definitely. It seems like the previous work that you guys have put in is definitely paid off, and it's starting to show.
yeah.
yeah.
Definitely. So yeah, I mean, granted, I'm not much of one to talk because this is my first hearing of and discovering of you guys.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We're new, man. Like
Yeah,
there's
we're really new.
like
We're a
there's
baby
no
band,
offense.
so there's
There's
nothing
no
like-
offense
I mean,
taken.
we've only been a
'cause
band
it's-
for like
no, for
It's
sure.
actually good to
3
hear
years
that.
kind of thing. Yeah,
Because at least you heard of us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we want
definitely.
people to hear us.
Yeah.
So if it's the first time, second time, it's fine with us, you know.
Yeah, you guys are kicking ass. You know, just
Thank
keep on
you.
Thanks,
keeping
man.
on as always.
Is this all I'm meant to be? Please show the way for
So you guys have the tracks Phoenix and Lost in the Phoenix and Lost in the Crowd. I think those are the two tracks on iTunes. And am I correct in understanding that the latter of those tracks is going to receive a music video at some point?
Yes.
in the near
Yes, in fact, it's getting released
Monday.
Monday
Ooh,
Monday.
on
Monday,
Loudwire.
Monday
Yeah,
on
Monday.
Loudwire. First
Loudwire.
Decree, Lost in the Crowd.
June
Debut.
29th.
That's
yeah.
gonna be dope.
That'll be the
That's
debut
awesome.
of the music video. So.
Do you guys have plans to record a full-length album or an EP or any collection of sorts anytime soon?
Our
We hope to.
our full length album right now is actually about to be released. It'll be released in August.
Yeah, August.
August 21st, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and so it's got those 2 tracks on it, and actually it's got those 2 tracks acoustically too that are really cool acoustic
sweet.
mixes.
Yeah.
And then 9 other songs.
Right on.
That are-
Awesome. 11 tracks. It's a
Yeah,
good one.
so-
I mean,
so-
I guess 13
Well, yeah,
total.
13,
13,
11,
yeah,
it's a whole
yeah.
bonus
Yeah.
acoustics, yeah.
Yeah, so
I
it'll,
dig 11
it'll be a
tracks.
pretty solid. It should be a pretty solid album.
Right on.
In fact, our scrims that we had, our banners that we had, that's the album cover.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
So-
dope.
Yeah,
Right on.
so-
So that's sick artwork.
so that's a
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
that's a little sneak
Right on.
Yeah.
thing.
Sneak
Yeah,
into
it's
it.
pretty cool.
I've been lost in the crowd.
What is the writing process or writing style like for First Degree? Like, I guess, who does anyone come to the table with like a riff idea or some lyrics, or is like, does everyone kind of like do their own part, or like, what's
It's-
that process like?
It's
for you
kind
guys?
of all of what you just said. I mean,
I think we're still trying to figure it out.
yeah.
really,
I mean,
more than
we
anything.
always just experiment with stuff. I mean, Dane and Travis wrote probably half or most of the album before the band was together, but it's more of just, you know, we come together with some idea, or I mean, I'm always writing poetry or like lyrics or whatever. And
Yeah.
so I got a bunch of random ideas that go through my head.
Okay.
Same with Zach, but it's more of just kind of we all sit together, and if we have an idea, we're like, hey, check this out, and stuff forms from that.
Right on.
Yeah, there's a bunch of like
Nothing's. There's not like a formula, I guess, that we have. It's more of just kind of
Like a hodgepodge. Of
Yeah,
it's a collection
ideas
of random
together.
stuff that we kind of
Right on.
refine into songs. So.
Right on. Sure. Finding a lot of bands, especially that are like that form like in the last like 5 years that are starting to kind of, I don't know. That just seems to be a more, I guess, generally accepted way of songwriting.
Yeah, because I mean, there's a lot of bands that you hear where like just the singer would write all the songs, and then or just the guitar player and the singer
The
or
singer
whatever,
writes all
Yeah,
the lyrics.
totally.
and or they like record do things that, but like we really are just we try to make sure everybody's voice is heard and everybody's like input is.
Totally.
I think it definitely adds to make it a more diverse,
Yeah.
you know, because
Yeah.
there's not just one idea coming out. You know, you have
Yeah.
Gets
multiple
everyone's-
people. Yeah, so
Everyone's
there's,
musical voice in there.
there's a diverse sound to it. You know.
Definitely. Yeah.
Plus, it allows for us to get the best songs or the best collection of ideas possible.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah. Everyone's voice has something
Yeah.
to contribute, and that's important.
I must find out who I am.
Who are your biggest influences as a band, and what do you take from them? At least, I guess, or individually, or whatever you want to. But yeah, influences.
I would say together as a band in general, I feel like we all have had influence from Avenged Sevenfold. We've all referenced that when talking about new moves on stage, new riffs, every single time we've gone back to Avenged Sevenfold on the way they do things.
Not like that we want to sound like
not,
Avenged
yeah,
Sevenfold
not like
per
they
se,
sound like them, just
but more like
how big they are.
we
as
just
far as,
we respect them as far as like every album
Yeah.
they've released doesn't sound the same,
Yeah.
and they've started playing tiny things, and you know, and they're like one of the top bands in the country or whatever, and
Yeah.
they, you know,
Yeah.
and they just keep evolving. So I mean, just that kind of inspires us. Like we want to just do the same thing. We don't want every album to sound the same, and we want our look to evolve and our sound to evolve and everything too.
They're one of the quintessential rock bands of the past decade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely,
And
definitely by
any
far.
count, They're
Yeah.
phenomenal. They're definitely huge.
We have all sorts of other
Yeah.
influences
Each
individually.
of us
You know,
individually, we listen to.
I know us
everything,
three
so-
are brothers, so our dad would play all sorts of 80s
Like
metal.
80s hair
you know,
metal. He's a
so
hair metal
Def
guy.
Leppard,
Yeah.
Scorpions, Molly Crew,
Hell
you know,
yeah.
all that kind of stuff. So we have a lot of influence from
I'm a
that.
Molly Crew fanatic, so.
You know,
Nikki Sixx
these
is my
guys, how they were
favorite.
talking about
Yeah.
Creed and
Always.
Alter Bridge.
That's like our-
and,
that's like
you
our-
know,
2000s sort of
Seven
you know,
Dust,
alt-rock
yeah.
kind of
all that
stuff.
kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Just
That's
so
kinda
it's
what
like
we
a
grew up
melting
on.
pot of things that we just put into it. But
Right on.
you know, we have all sorts of different influences, definitely.
Yeah.
Right on. Awesome. And it shows in the music for sure. This is our last question, and this is something I like to ask every band because it's interesting to get everyone's perspective. So, on a musical note, Gene Simmons famously said not that long ago that rock is dead to
Yeah.
pretty much the world.
Yeah.
What are your guys' thoughts on all that? It's cause clearly it's divided the rock
Yeah.
community and kind of the world, who's at least
Yeah.
those who care about it.
The thing that's dead is album sales are dead. The
Yeah.
rock music isn't dead because there's in this moment it's
yeah.
playing in this building right here, and then next door, Theory of a Dead Man, Hinder, and Seamus Harvest are playing.
Yeah.
And they
Huge
probably
lines to
have
fill,
they
yeah.
probably have just as many people in there as they do in here. So it's like if you can have two shows in the same city of the same kind of genre of music and pack both houses, rock really can't be dead.
Plus, there's
Yeah,
a
you
there's
just
a
look
new
at-
rock festival
you-
popping
and
up
festival all
every.
the
There's a new
time.
festival
There
every
was just
day.
one down in Grand Junction, the Loudwire Festival.
yeah.
That's brand.
It was
this
huge.
was
There's the first year was
annual,
huge,
first
you know.
annual year,
Big
and it was
band.
huge.
And so
I think it's going on.
the only thing that's
today
really
again,
dead is like the
Saturday.
whole like becoming millionaires off of your album sales and selling
Yeah.
Millions and millions of albums
just-
and
It's a different
everything.
day.
It's a
Yeah,
different-
the
it's a
only
different day and
person
age in
who can
industry.
still do it
Yeah.
is Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the only
somehow.
person in the whole world that can do that.
Who can
And
sell
then again,
millions
she's
of
got
albums.
so many
Everybody else
different income streams.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, she's crazy.
I feel like I also feel like rock kind of, it did kind of hit a point where it kind of fell a little bit, but it's on the rise. It is. Breaking Benjamin, they just came out with an album that it's going straight to #1, you know,
Oh, yeah.
on the Billboard charts and stuff. And you see these new rock bands like Nothing More and Starset, new bands just
Asking
popping up,
Alexandria.
and Asking Alexandria blowing
Love you,
up. And all
John,
these,
by the way.
Yeah.
all these bands just coming up, and it's just like, I feel like this is the best time for rock in the last
Yeah.
15 years, kind of.
Yeah,
Or
it's-
maybe not the last 15 years, but you know, last at
Definitely
least
the last,
5
like,
or 10.
5.
So
It's not dead. It's like I said, it's just
it goes in
for,
waves.
I think it's for the rock stars, I guess, to make money and to be relevant. They can't rely on their album sales anymore. They have to rely on their live show for one.
So it's a transition
you
phase,
know,
I think, is where it's
and
at.
the fans can always
Yeah.
tell. The fans can always tell when a band's going through their motions on stage. So you know, every night you have to bring it. It doesn't matter if there's 5 people or 5,000 people in the crowd. You got to bring it every night.
Always.
You know, playing festivals, getting creative with like your merch stuff, and like doing like meet and greets, and you know, things where the band can come on your bus and they get like an acoustic performance or stuff,
Yeah.
just stuff like that, and like album incentives, like if you buy our album, you get this and this kind
Yeah.
of thing, or if you don't buy our album, you don't get these songs, or that are, you know, I see it all the time on like if you buy your album from Best Buy for a certain band, they have 4 bonus tracks that you can only get from the Best Buy thing, and obviously you can torrent it and,
Yeah, for sure.
and everything, but
And even then, like, it's not the same.
Yeah.
That's for all
But-
music.
Yeah.
and like I'm like old school. I love CDs. Like I'll buy stuff on iTunes rarely, but I like CDs because you get the booklet and the artwork and all the stuff that the band spends so much time on.
So go and buy CDs, everybody.
Yeah, I know.
Let's get
Especially
the
from the merch
let's
table.
get the album sales
Yeah.
back up.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
but
Spotify ain't doing shit for artists.
No.
So
No,
to
I-
be blunt.
Yeah,
but-
they're not.
I think what it is like, even I didn't even realize it. Like, because I had Winamex in like 2002,
Yeah,
and like it was just a
Winamex.
free touring
Forgot all
thing
about
like
that.
back in the
Yeah.
day, and like
Yeah.
you know, I was like, oh my band, I love this band, but I'm a 14-year-old kid, I don't have any money, so I'm just gonna download their stuff, and like
Yeah.
people don't realize that when you do that, nobody's getting paid.
Yeah,
so-
it's definitely a different day and age,
Yeah.
and it's kind of changed, I guess, how most people, at least that have grown up in this day and age,
Yeah.
how they kind of view the, I guess, value of music.
Yeah,
It's,
but it's
now-
also a
which now
great
more
time
and more-
because
yeah.
we got social media, and so
Yeah,
that
and so
helps.
before, you know, being a rock star was like a mysterious thing, and nobody really knew what your personal life was. But now I think that that's another thing that you can utilize and harness is the power of Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and all that, and then people can like,
artist to fan is just
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
direct.
it's
Yeah.
The
super
engagement
easy now.
is
Yeah.
big.
and so you can actually have, I guess, better fans, because before they were just a fan of your music and like, you know, whatever, and they thought you were hot
Yeah.
or something on stage. But
Yeah.
now they can actually like, which is kind of scary and kind of cool at the same time, they'll know like what your favorite food is and your favorite football team and
Yeah.
what your dog's name is and like all that kind of stuff. And like it's
Yeah.
cool, you can have like super diehard fans now, whereas
Yeah.
before it was just kind of like you couldn't really be a diehard fan because you
Definitely. Yeah.
couldn't. So
Yeah, and I think it's important for that too, because of that, and because it's so accessible for everyone, at least from my perspective, it makes like a lot of noise to cut through, and so in that sense,
Yeah.
when you find the people that truly sort of are able to latch onto your band, then you have those
Yeah.
those like true fans that can really support you and keep you going in this day and age of a lot of noise to cut through.
Oh, yeah.
It's-
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
and for as young of a band as we are, I've already like started to get some super hardcore fans.
I
Like
noticed
Yeah,
it.
they're-
It's pretty sweet.
they're on our page all the time. We have a few stops that we make where we'll have fans bring us cookies and stuff. Like it's like clockwork. Like every time we come to this city,
Yeah.
It's weird.
like
It's cool.
they come knock on the door. Like here we brought you guys dinner, or we
or-
brought you guys cupcakes, or we brought you guys cookies, or whatever.
Right on.
And, it,
That's huge.
and it's like,
Yeah.
and it's awesome. Shout out to all the fans that have ever brought us
Yeah.
food and everything like
Hey,
that.
you can still bring us food.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Everybody
Please.
can bring us food.
We love
We're
food.
always hungry on the
Anybody
road.
can.
Yeah.
You can bring them food too.
This guy's looking
Alright.
kind of skinny, man. He needs to
But
I know. I need
put
to-
on some pounds.
I'm right there with you, man.
We'll figure it out.
There we go.
The skinny
All
one.
right. I think we're about to ready to wrap up here, guys.
Awesome.
Cool.
Blues Tribute, First Decree. Take it easy, guys.
Thank you so
Thanks.
much.
Flying to